Hey everybody, Stephen here, and for today's video review, I have MuscleTech's Amino Build Next Gen here. So, got this off of Amazon. I believe I got it for about 20 bucks. So, looking for amino acids that aren't crazy expensive, because I'll run across some where it's $30 to $45 for them, and price-wise, it's not something that I'm really into, spending that type of money for something that you can get a product that has pretty much the exact same thing in it. Now, if you want to boil it down to, well, where are they sourcing it from and all these other things, you can look more into that. That's going to be harder to find with the company. They're usually not transparent with that. So looking at price, I'm also looking at whether or not they have a proprietary blend or not. And this one does not. So they're actually telling you exactly what's in the product, which is awesome. This is a 2-to-1-to-1 ratio, so with that you're looking at 2 grams of leucine, 1 gram of isoleucine, and then 1 gram of valine. With this on the back, with the nutrition label here, they actually show when you're just doing the 1 scoop, what you're going to get out of this, and then with 2 scoops. The reason they're doing that, in my opinion, is because when you're looking at the front label here, it says clinically dosed performance-enhancing BCAA formula with betaine in it. So that clinical dose stuff, which I'll cover here in a second, is really more towards the 2 scoops, which, like I said, I think that's why they're putting that on there. So watermelon is the flavor that I got. It tastes like, I always compare these to like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, is what it essentially boils down to taste-wise. I do like to taste with this, mixing this with other supplements too. Especially some of my green supplements where it's kind of masking the taste of that. Right off the bat though, I will say the other ingredients, you're looking at natural and artificial flavors. Still don't know what that means. Silicon dioxide, sucralose, which is the sweetener. The silicon dioxide is really an anti-caking agent with it. The sucralose though is what's sweetening it, so sweet and low. Citric acid, calcium silicate, asulfame, potassium, which we're just really looking at these products being either anti-caking or it's just going to prevent this from molding, right? And then FD&C, red number 40, which gives it its color. I mean, at this point, especially with the color stuff, I don't think we really need the dyes in it. You can put literally like beet extract in here and you'll get that same color, right? I'm not really too concerned with the color of my drink. And with this, they're already putting betaine in there, which I'll get to here in a moment, so I mean you could just go with that. I'm assuming this boils really down to cost though. So 30 servings with this. I will make sure that there is a link for this in the description so that you guys can find this. So calories right off the bat, we're looking at 25 calories for 1 scoop, 50 for the other. Total carbohydrates, 1 gram. With the 1 scoop, 2 grams with 2 scoops, 0 sugars because you're getting the sweetener from the sucralose. And then it has the sodium and potassium with this. So sodium, we're looking at 70 milligrams with the 1 scoop, 140 milligrams with the 2. Potassium, 18 milligrams with the 1 scoop, 36 milligrams with the 2. I will get down to this because they actually have an electrolyte blend in this as well that I don't know if it's really taking that into consideration here because these numbers are off. So they do have a separate electrolyte blend, which I really do like when I'm looking at my BCAA drinks, is I want that electrolyte with it if I can get it, okay, instead of just solely the BCAAs. So we already talked about it. It is a 2-to-1-to-1 branched chain amino acid matrix. So the 2 grams going to the leucine and then the 1 gram for the isoleucine and the valine. I'd say this for all of my BCAA reviews. Branched chain amino acids are not taken up by the hepatic system. They're not taken up by the liver. So these are getting delivered to the muscles, especially that being important when we're looking at fasting periods or that when we're looking at, all right, I'm working out, I need to keep those muscles fed, all right? After that, you have cell volumizing and recovery complex. And with that 2-to-1-to-1 ratio, just to reiterate, that's standard across the board. You have some that are more extreme, where you're looking at, like, I've seen some that are like a 10-to-2-to-2 or a 10-to-1-to-1 or whatever that may be ratio, where you're looking at it, it's like, holy moly, they put a ton of leucine in it. But anyways, the 2-to-1-to-1 is really standard. Cell volumizing and recovery complex. And that 2 to 1 to 1, by the way, if I was to do the 2 scoops, now we're looking at 4 grams of the leucine, 2 for the isoleucine, and 2 grams for the valine, just to put that in there. Cell volumizing here, we have taurine, 500 milligrams. So you have taurine, L-glutamine, and L-alanine. With all of those, you have 500 milligrams. Those aren't clinical doses. Usually they're 1 plus, 1 to 2 typically with a lot of these. More so with glutamine, you're looking at more 3 to 5. But if I'm doing the 2 scoops, now I'm moving into that 1 gram range. So that's where we're getting into this wording that they have on the front, which says clinically dosed, which I think is why they put this on the label here, because otherwise people are going to be like, that's not right. Taurine, so we're looking at an antioxidant with this. It's a brain stimulant, which is why you'll see this a lot of times. 500 milligrams, really more so on the 1 gram mark in energy drinks. Monster or Rockstar, any of those, they put that in there. So they have the taurine. You'll also see that in a lot of different products that they're marketing now as nootropics. So L-glutamine after that, right, looking at muscle recovery, helping with building the muscle back up. I mean, 500 milligrams or even the 1 gram mark, that's pretty low. Cool that it's in there. I'm not going to bank on it, right? Most likely, if you're really heavy on the glutamine, you're probably putting another scoop of that in with this. And now you're getting like a 5 or 10 gram scoop with this on top of it. So cool that it's in there. It's not a high enough dose that, like I said, I'm banking on a huge effect from that. L-alanine, 500 milligrams or 1 gram. Usually you're looking more 1 to 2 grams with this. L-alanine, if I'm looking at it, I mean, my body's going to convert that. Obviously, anytime you see L, just know that it's an amino acid. L-alanine, my body's going to convert that in the kidneys to nitric oxide, so that's going to help give me that pump. Also going to help with recovery on that. After that, you have strength enhancing compound, which is their betaine anhydrous, 1.25 grams or 2.5 grams with the 2 scoops. Really what I'm seeing is more on the 2.5 grams or 2 plus grams for betaine really having a bigger effect. And a lot of this stuff being more at that clinical dose at that above 2 gram mark. So they did nail it with that one, in my opinion. Betaine, when I'm looking at that, it gets its name from beets because you find a high concentration in there. But betaine is a really good compound where it helps with estrogen methylation. So you're actually getting the estrogen kicked out of the bad estrogen kicked out of the liver, because this can attach to it and pull it out, so your body processes it, gets rid of it. So it's not just hanging out in the liver there. But I am a huge fan of betaine, so that's one of the other things that was a draw for me to this product. And then we're going to finish this out with the electrolyte blend. So you have sodium chloride, 180 milligrams for the 1 serving, 360 for the 2. Coconut water, 50 milligrams for the 1 scoop, 100 for the 2. Watermelon juice, 50 milligrams for the 1 serving, 100 milligrams for the 2. And then dipotassium phosphate, so potassium, 40 milligrams for the 1 serving, 80 for the 2. These aren't the same when you're looking at the sodium and the potassium for the first part of this, where it's showing calories and sugar and all of that. So this is on top of that. I do like seeing, like I said, these electrolyte blends, and I do like, it's a decent amount. It's not super high amount, but it is a decent amount of this. Sodium being super important when we're working out. We're trying to make sure that we get that water to stick in our body. Obviously, you need electrolytes. If you don't, water's passing just right through. You can still be dehydrated even though you're drinking a ton of water if you don't have those electrolytes, because your body doesn't have a way of holding on to it. So looking at that and the potassium, the coconut water and the watermelon juice, those are 2 bonuses with this. So overall, I am happy with this product, especially with, it tastes phenomenal. And just looking at the price point with this, which I usually tell you the price point, these may fluctuate. So don't hold me to that. I've gone back before and actually went to go buy one of these products. I'll go through the link again just to check on it, and all of a sudden, oh man, it's $2 more. Or sometimes it's $2 less. I mean, there is a fluctuation with this, but great for the price. I'll make sure that link is on there. Definitely gets a thumbs up from me, especially if you like watermelon. I know they have some other flavors that you can try. I'm just kind of on a watermelon kick right now with all of this. So That is my review for the Muscle Tech Amino Build Next Gen. I actually haven't had a Muscle Tech product in a long time too, to be honest. I mean, following back in the day, looking at when Jay Cutler was still on their team, because I think he's actually, I don't know if he still is, I think he left. I think he might have his own line, but I know my guy Dexter Jackson, I believe, is still part of the team, the Blade, and that dude's always shredded. So good to be back to try one of their products. I might in the future look at some of their other ones. I don't know with that, especially now that they are going more towards these non-proprietary blend-based products. So if you guys have any questions, any comments, anything like that, please do that in the section below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to continue to follow along with all of my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thank you so much for watching.